This week, polls came out showing that Joe Biden's approval rating is now up to 62%. Even among right-wing pollsters like Rasmussen, his poll numbers are at 55%. So even that horribly skewed to the right pollster says that most people approve of him. And actually this week, Rasmussen introduced two new polls, both of them showing Joe Biden's approval rating over 50%. And as expected, Trump supporters flipped the hell out. They got on social media, started attacking Rasmussen. In fact, one of them even said, "Stop polling." They don't want any more polls showing that most people in this country actually support Joe Biden, because it devastates the little fantasy world that they have created where Donald Trump is the only person that anybody is capable of loving, and no politician can live up to the legacy, I guess, of Donald Trump. Here's the thing, though, about these polls. Yes, Biden has an astoundingly high approval rating right now. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we're coming off of the Trump hangover. People hated the guy. They wanted him gone. They're happy that he's gone. They're enjoying at the moment having a president that you don't have to think about every single day. You know, unless you actually work in politics, there's plenty of days where people don't even think about who the president of the United States is. They don't have to worry about insane things the person says on Twitter. They're happy going about their lives, not even thinking about it. That's going to wear off eventually. And then reality is going to kind of come crashing down for the Democrats. But until then, reality is crashing down around the Trump crowd. Because they think, as I said, nobody can be better than Trump. And it also helps to devastate their little fantasy that the election was somehow stolen and that most people didn't actually choose Biden. These polls prove them wrong. And that's why they're freaking out on Twitter. That's why they're demanding that all the polling be stopped, because it hurts their entire world view. But back to the point about reality coming crashing down with the Democrats, they're going to have to continue to deliver in order to avoid the poll numbers falling back down. And unfortunately, due to a lot of Republican obstruction, due to Joe Biden compromising for no reason at all and Republicans still not going with it, I do firmly believe that in a couple months we're going to see these poll numbers start ticking down once people start to realize, hey, we're not getting anything out of this either. You know, you have a lot of people right now who are squarely in the middle. Their lives didn't actually change under Trump. Their lives aren't changing under Biden. Everything for these people is totally okay. They're getting by. They're not necessarily struggling with bills. You know, and this is a good, millions and millions of people fall into this category where it doesn't matter who the president is, they're doing okay. So those are the people that say, yeah, sure, I approve of him. I don't have to think about him every day. I'm okay with this. My life hasn't changed. My quality of living hasn't changed. I'm okay. But it's the struggling people, the working class. Those are the people that are eventually going to start flipping on that and saying, no, I don't approve. My situation is not getting better. You know, I was promised all these lofty things. Joe Biden on multiple occasions tweeted out that he was going to forgive student loan debt. Within the last week, he's come out and said, we're not doing that. That's not a thing that's going to happen now. They loved his infrastructure plan. Well, he's cut it down by $600 billion to entice more Republicans to come to his side, and they're simply not coming to his side. And that was supposed to be a massive jobs plan. Also had a hell of a lot of improvements on environmental issues in that, and those have all been now stripped from that package. So he can enjoy the high approval ratings right now. We can, bathe ourselves in the tears of those MAGA idiots freaking out over it. But eventually it's going to shift if this administration cannot get things in order and start making real things happen for struggling Americans. One of today's video sponsors is Magic Spoon Cereal, and right now they have a great offer for our Ring of Fire viewers. Just go to magicspoon.com/ROF, pick up a variety pack, enter code ROF at checkout, and get $5 off your entire order. Now, I'm sure all of us remember those wonderful Saturday mornings as kids sitting down with a bowl of nice, sugary goodness.
Well, you can now relive those days without all of the guilt, because Magic Spoon is a keto-friendly cereal without all the guilt. Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net carbs in each serving. Only 140 calories per serving. It's keto-friendly, it's gluten-free, it's grain-free, it's soy-free, it's low-carb, and GMO-free. And they've got exciting news. Right now, Magic Spoon has released a super delicious new flavor, Birthday Cake. And Birthday Cake Magic Spoon is going to be available in a special 5-pack for a limited time only. So get it while you can, or you can build your own custom variety pack with all the flavors that you want. And of course, they have frosted, fruity, cocoa, peanut butter, and cinnamon. I gotta say, I love Magic Spoon. This is a product that I have now ordered multiple different times. The frosted are absolutely my favorite. I'm super excited about the birthday cake flavor. So once again, magicspoon.com/ROF. Pick up a variety pack, enter code ROF at checkout, and get $5 off your order.